message out there in the outfield?
We'll see what we got. To this point, it's been nothing but glad handing and hype and everything else. And some of it's earned, some of it's not. All of it's been positive, and there's a lot of negatives in this game, and there's a lot of negatives in competing. And so we'll see what we got between now and a quick turnaround.
Tony, how much of that late was things you think y'all could have done better versus just a team that was making plays like ETSU was?
I think a bunch of it was a team making plays, whether it's hitting the ball out of the ballpark or making plays on defense. There's a couple times they didn't make plays on defense that we could have taken advantage of and didn't fully do. But I think a lot of it is credit to them, and a lot of it is poor decisions by me, and it coming back to bite us a little bit. And then also some guys getting exposed from having a little bit of fear.
What did Hunter do well in those two at-bats in the 7th and the 8th?
I think just taking what he was going to get, that's easy to say when he hits it where the shift is, and then I believe with 2 strikes, but whatever, just kind of almost a pepperish swing and putting the ball in play and getting a couple RBIs out of it. You could flip it and say the other guys, or in other situations, we had guys trying to do too much with runners in scoring position or just runners on base, and he did a good job, which is what you expect out of a mature guy, is to have an understanding of what it takes to just get that job done, as opposed to, having all that want to.
I guess how important was Braden's outing, and what did you see from Binky in his return?
Well, I think Andrew was himself, which is what we expected, and he did a great job for us, and he could have went on longer, and quick turnaround. We expect him to make an impact and throw some vital pitches, maybe vital innings down in Tuscaloosa, and then Krenzel earned himself the right to do that as well, and he took ownership of the game too. He had every right to be. You want guys to want to be out there. He wasn't happy it was coming out of the game, and you look at it, if you just review the game and watch it on video or read the box score, it's easy to say should have left the guy in.
What was the explanation you got from the umpires on the no interference call at second base?
That there was obstruction, but not enough obstruction to go to the next base. I'll have to watch the video. I don't know exactly what went on, but there was obstruction, but the guy's got to run all the way to the base, which I'll have to watch the video. We got a freshman out there, and no one wants to win more than Manny, but also Manny's a freshman. He wants to be safe, so he doesn't want to do anything reckless. That was the explanation.
Tony, I know that all the focus has been on Tuesday night, but you got Alabama coming up a short week. What do you know about that club, and what are the challenges there?
Just who their coach is, from having recruited him, and he, played under some guys that are here, even played with a guy that's here. So his leadership and his ability to get those guys to play together and play hard and have a plan is already been evident to us last year when we went down there and we lost the series. I don't see how it would change. We haven't, like every time we play on a Tuesday, we haven't taken a complete dive into that, but you kind of already know it going in. Returning guys that were a part of a winning team last year, and new faces, that are a part of a winning team going on right now. So, and they went and did some work on the road last week. They'll be excited about getting back home and wanting to hold court there, or hold serve, however you want to say it.
No, he gave up the homer there in the 10th, but did Tanner look better today than he
Yeah,
did
he looked
last
great.
week?
He looks great, and I think if he throws a pitch ahead of that one, in the zone, it's a little bit different. And I don't think he did it in that situation, but a couple times we got exposed. We got to a 3-2 count, and guys kind of, tried to place it in there. I don't think he did that. I think the guy just took a good swing, and he was throwing the ball in outstanding fashion. So it's disappointing that on the box score it looks like a negative night for him. I can't, we can't babysit these guys. I'm going to have to babysit myself, to help the team in the best way possible. So for him, he just needs to look at it and realize you're exactly right. The last 3 times he's thrown the ball, that was the best time. So just keep pushing forward, because he's another guy that in Tuscaloosa will have some vital pitches thrown and maybe vital innings.
Coach, you said after the win on Sunday, be excited about what you ask for. You got your first loss here. What's the message to the team? What are you hoping they take the most out of this loss?
Well, I hope it allows us to get back to the work, because if I'm seeing stuff, then they're seeing that times 10 of, this, that, how great you are, and The league is great, but I don't want to speak for anybody. No one's great yet. It's too early in the year. You're still figuring out what you got, what you don't have, and you'd like to think the ball that fans see or you guys watch in February and March isn't going to be as good as what you'll see in May, because teams will continue to progress and repetitions are so valuable for these young kids. And from our standpoint too, we're still trying to figure out who's going to do what, and who's going to be consistent, and who has a lack of fear on game day and things like that. So I think just to get back to the work, and there'll be a few less distractions now that the talk of being the greatest and all that stuff is over with.
Tony, do you still see the same pitching plan this weekend, even though it's a day in advance?
Yeah, so Liam will start the series for us, and Marcus will throw game 2, and then we'll kind of regroup after that second game and see where we're at.
Tony, in your sort of career experience as a competitor and in this game, are there some lessons that you can really only learn in a loss? I mean, I know people don't like to think like that, but is that true in some cases? Yeah,
I mean, people get comfortable, and we're in a good spot to be having this conversation, because I think a team in the past, it was hard not to think you're invincible, and nobody's invincible for sure. I also think it's important to find an even balance of, how are you going to be every day, each inning, because at the end of that game there's 2 pretty excited teams looking at every pitch like it was the end of the world. That wasn't the case in the first inning. So, and maybe I'm guilty of that too, but I think that's an important lesson.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.